My dearest Livia, they call this land Gaul, but to us it feels like the edge of the world. The sun here is weak, hidden behind gray clouds that never seem to break. The forests are so thick that the light of Rome feels like a dream I had 1,000 years ago. We have been marching for weeks. My feet are blistered, and the weight of my scutum, shield, feels heavier with every mile. But the centurions do not let us rest. Caesar is driven by a fever I cannot describe, a hunger for glory that we must feed with our own blood. He stares at the horizon as if he can see the gods themselves, while we stare at the mud, praying for a dry place to sleep. The Gauls are not like the enemies we fought in the south. They are tall, with hair like fire, and voices that sound like the howling of wolves. At night, we hear their horns echoing through the trees. It is a lonely sound, Livia. It tells us that we are not welcome here, that the very earth wants to swallow us whole. Tonight, we were given extra wine and a portion of salted pork. The veterans didn't cheer. They know what it means. It's the same meal they gave us before the slaughter at Gergovia. It means that tomorrow the eagles will fly into the smoke once again. I keep your bronze ring tied to my belt. When the fear starts to tighten my throat, I touch it and remember the smell of the olive groves behind our house. If the fates decide my thread is to be cut in this cold forest, know that my last thought was of the sun on your face. The signal fires are being lit. The watch is changing. Keep the hearth burning, Livia, for I am surrounded by shadows. Yours, Marcus.
Livia, they are calling it a great victory in the officers' tents. The messengers have already been sent to Rome with scrolls full of Caesar's glory. They speak of conquered tribes and the strength of the Roman eagle. But I do not feel like a conqueror. I feel like a butcher. 3 days ago, we broke through their lines. It wasn't a battle. It was a harvest. The Gauls fought until their swords snapped, and when they had nothing left, we did not stop. We were ordered to leave nothing behind. I can still hear the sound of iron hitting bone. It is a sound that stays in your ears long after the screaming stops. I have spent hours by the river today, Livia. I have scrubbed my hands until the skin is raw and bleeding, but the scent of iron and copper, the scent of their blood, won't leave me. I look at my palms, and I don't see the man who used to hold you in the garden. I see a shadow stained in red. The veterans tell me that the first time is the hardest, that eventually the heart turns to stone, and the blood just becomes like mud on your sandals. But I don't want a heart of stone. I don't want to forget the faces of the boys who fell under my gladius. They had mothers too, Livia. They had homes they were trying to defend. Is this the civilization we bring to the world? A trail of burning thatch and silent cradles? The centurion says we must be proud. He says we are making Rome eternal. But tonight, as I sit by a fire made from the wood of their broken homes, I feel very small and very, very dirty. Pray for my soul, Livia, for my hands are no longer mine. Your Marcus.
Livia, my hands are no longer the hands of a man. They are pieces of cracked leather and dry blood. We have become more like ants than soldiers, digging into the earth, piling stone upon stone, wood upon wood. We have built a cage, Livia, a cage 18 miles long. And then, because we are mad, we built another one behind our backs to keep the rest of Gaul from clawing us apart.
We are trapped in a circle of our own making. The hunger is a constant companion now. It sits in the stomach like a cold stone. They say Caesar eats the same rations we do, but Caesar does not have to swing an axe for 12 hours in the freezing rain. We are promised glory. We are promised gold. We are promised slaves that will work our fields back home for a lifetime. For glory, for Rome, for Caesar. But you cannot eat gold, and glory does not keep you warm at night when the fog rolls in from the valley. Across the ditch, inside the city, the Gauls are starving too. At night, the wind brings us the sound of their women and children wailing. They have run out of grain. They have run out of hope. We watch each other across the ramparts like two starving wolves, waiting to see who will fall first. Caesar walks the lines every morning. He looks at us with those eyes that see only the maps of tomorrow. To him, we are not men. We are the tools of his destiny. We are the hammers he uses to break this world. And we break ourselves for him, hoping that when the dust settles, there will be enough of us left to enjoy the spoils. My back feels like it will never straighten again. My fingers are so stiff I can barely hold the stylus. But if we finish these walls, if we survive the storm that is coming from the hills, then maybe, just maybe, the gods will let me see the sun of Italy once more. The horns are sounding. Another shift, another mile of wood and stone. Pray that the walls hold, Livia, for if they break, we are all ghosts. Your Marcus.
Olivia, it has been 6 years since that final bloody day at Alesia. 6 years of dust, iron, and the endless screaming of Gaul. But today, the sun is different. It is the sun of Italy. We are marching in Caesar's great triumph. I should be shouting. I should be singing the songs of victory with the others. We are decorated with laurel wreaths, and our pouches are heavy with the gold denarii Caesar promised us. Behind us, in chains, walks Vercingetorix, the great wolf of Gaul, now just a broken man in a cage. We won, Livia. Rome is eternal, and we are its masters. But as I march, my boots feel like they are made of lead. The crowd cheers, throwing flowers at our feet. But all I can smell is the smoke of burning thatch. All I can see are the eyes of the starving children we left behind the walls. I look at my brothers in the 10th Legion. We are rich now. We have gold and we have slaves to plow our fields. But we move like ghosts. We look at each other and we don't see heroes. We see men who have done things that the sunlight of Rome can never truly bleach away. Caesar sits high on his golden chariot, painted in red like the god Mars himself. He is a titan. But I realized today, Livia, that he didn't just conquer Gaul. He conquered us, too. He took our youth, our mercy, and our peace, and he gave us a few coins and a parade in return. I am only a few miles from our gate. I can see the hills I knew as a boy. I am coming home to you, Livia. I will be the husband I promised, and I will walk the olive groves again. But when the wind blows from the north, from the cold forests of the world, I will always hear the echo of the hammers at Alesia. The parade is slowing. The city gates are open. I am leaving the war, but the war is coming home with me. Yours, Marcus.